So before anyone asks, I'm not really going to talk about the Independence Day Resurgence trailer, mostly because I wasn't really a big fan of the first film, and it's Roland Emmerich. I think we should be all pretty much aware of what that man's capable of, which is not much. Also, yeah, as a fellow G fan, I can honestly say, no, we still haven't forgiven him for what he did in '98. Anyway, let's talk about the other trailer that came out shortly after, after Independence Day, or was it before? Fuck it. Star Trek Beyond, or should I call it Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Fast and Furious. Look, I like the first two movies. They're not great. Well, the first ones I like. Into Darkness, the more I watch, the more flaws I see, and the more flaws I see. But I don't think it's absolutely horrendous. It's not a great film, but I can get some enjoyment out of that film. This trailer does not do this movie any favors. Now, obviously, I have Justin Lin, who's best known for the Fast and Furious movies, and a few other things here and there, but mostly Fast and Furious. And man, does he take a page. Now, this movie is being written by Simon Pegg. It's also being written by a bunch of, 10 other guys, apparently. Most of those guys worked on such projects as Transformers and the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Not really instilling a lot of confidence here, guys, but hopefully Simon Pegg can, I really am curious, because he's apparently the head writer of this movie. But, yeah, I want to wait for another trailer. This trailer just does not, this thing was just horribly edited together, did not have the right music. And before anyone says, but wait a minute, Zilla, wasn't Sabotage from Beastie Boys already in, the Abrams movie? It was in the very first one. Yes, that's true, but it was in one scene. And yes, it was in the trailer, but that was to emphasize the whole point of, a young Jim Kirk. And in the other trailers for both Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness, they were very thematic, very brooding, very dark, and, had a certain aura of, majesty to them. This one's just in your face, hey, look at us, we're doing Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2.5. We have one of the actresses from the movie. Are you guys excited yet? No? Let me just turn up the action. Now, again, this movie could be really awesome, but this trailer just does not do any favors. The story apparently is that the Enterprise has been destroyed, and I'm like, God damn, how many times are you going to destroy the Enterprise in this franchise? This is the third time. Only now it's, completely wrecked. And I don't know, saying right out the gate the Enterprise is just completely destroyed. I don't know. One, again, you've already pretty much wrecked the Enterprise twice, 2 movies already. So, doing it a third time is just oh, you're just pulling that out of the hat. But now this one looks completely wrecked. And it also, is it just me? I know these are real ships. I know these are actual ships, but I can't be the only one. To all my fellow StarCraft fans, just real quick, guys, to all my fellow StarCraft fans, did those things remind you of the Scourge, those Zerg units that, you could create a whole squadron of them and kamikaze them into other ships? Tell me you guys weren't, my fellow StarCraft fans, tell me you weren't thinking of Scourge when, little, bat creatures that you could fly into other ships and kamikaze them. I was totally thinking, you just wiped out your whole squad there, Idris Elba. That's the other thing. Idris Elba's playing a new character called Krull. Not to be confused with Krull, but whatever. And the makeup effects for him looks actually really good. That's one of the things I'll give Star Trek's, that they are still trying to do the whole practical effects thing, which is good. And he does look really cool. Also, I had to remind myself that wasn't Emily Clark as the female alien. Although it does sound, it almost looks like her body-wise under all that makeup. So I had to look and make sure to see if that was Emily Clark or not. But yeah, we got the story of that, the crew, the crew of the Enterprise, the main cast, however, have been separated, they're lost on this planet, and now there's some kind of, they have to stop some kind of alien conspiracy or something like that. Alright, I'm game. But again, this trailer just feels more like it belongs with Guardians of the Galaxy or, some other type of sci-fi film. With the other trailers and the other films is that they did have those kind of big action scenes, but there was also that aura of gravitas and, oh yeah, this is Star Trek. Even Abrams kind of understood this in all of his trailers. Was yeah, we have to show that this is Star Trek, and show off a lot, show off a lot of respect, even though he wasn't the biggest Star Trek fan, and it kind of came off making Star Wars. Hey-oh. But yeah, I just feel like this was not, I feel like this should have been like trailer 2, and not the trailer you shoot right out the gate, with just all the random action scenes and the Enterprise being destroyed again. But yeah, it's kind of funny. My dad, who's actually a bigger Trekkie, a bigger Trekkie than I am, he's like diehard Trekkie. He watched the trailer, he looked at me and said, "Next year is the 50th anniversary." And I was like, "Yeah. And this is what I get?" He was like vehemently pissed off that, it's the 50th, next year's the 50th anniversary of Star Trek, and he feels like he's just getting ripped off. I don't know, I just feel like, I feel bad for him, and I feel bad for all, I like Star Trek as much as the next guy, but I've never been like I've been more Star Wars than I am Star Trek, but I love both, equally. But this trailer just did not do the movie any favor. It was just like, action, 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 sabotage playing everywhere, makes you feel like Fast and Furious in space. But who knows, maybe the movie will be good. I'm putting a lot of love in, and respect towards, the writing group, as well as, Simon Pegg, who's obviously the head writer, and he did have a lot of help in writing the, a lot of the Cornetto trilogy with Edgar Wright. And granted, those were comedies, but there were a lot of great drama and action sequences. So I do have some hope for this film. I'm not going to judge the movie right out the gate from one trailer. I'm just saying this trailer just didn't do this movie any favors to help out. But who knows? Maybe it'll be really good. I'm hoping it'll be good. I'm hoping it'll be a lot of fun, and we can actually get some, cool Star Trek stuff from this universe. And yeah, I just want a good Star Trek movie. That's a fun Star Trek movie. That'd be nice. But anyway, guys, you guys tell me, what do you all think of the first trailer for Star Trek Beyond? You guys like it? You guys hate it? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.